Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo. Ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Yeah, it's my time, yo time. Step into the spotlight. Get lit, yo. Let yourself go. Our time, high time. Gotta go big time. This is it, yo. Never take no flight time. Grind time. Take it to the street time. Turn the roof off. Get loco. Game time, win time. We gon' bring it home time. No regrets now. Let it all go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder.
Good evening and welcome to Mountain Bears, and it ain't been a good week. And with me tonight, of course, is my techie with the mostest. My copy and contacts don't think I broke his glasses. Techie Joe, hello, darling.
Yeah, I know. I know. I decided it was a contact day, and it's actually going pretty well. So I actually made it to air with my contacts in.
Awesome. So we will hopefully be getting you in contacts more often. We're going to go ahead and give you a warning, guys. Tonight's show is not for all audience members. If you have little ones, you might want to get some earbuds because I'm pissed.
Yep. Hey, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Well, that and, as always, we are an LGBTQ themed show on Friday nights consisting of a IT atheist and a pagan psychic reader. So, we were already not for all audiences, but if you're especially easily offended and or feel like, you are being persecuted as a Christian, you may want to walk away now.
You might.
You might.
So I'm going to go ahead and do this one because I haven't done this one in a while. Well, no, I won't because it ain't here. Damn, don't use something around here, it disappears.
We reset the show.
I know. I really need my hot fucking tea one.
Well,
So the other night I was playing around on fucking TikTok, and I ran across this 18-year-old living in South Dakota boy in tears that he's scared to even leave his house.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck? Of course, I've been being good.
Mm-hmm.
In the mornings, I've not been watching the news. I've been watching positive information and taking in some yoga and doing all that shit. So I'll go digging a little bit after I made a response to this dude. Mm-hmm. The next one that pops up is raise your hand if you would rather be in a room full of drag queens than one evangelical Christian. I think my hand couldn't get any damn higher.
Yes.
So I flip over to the news because, it's not a night that I need to be worried about the news because we normally gather our news on Monday or Tuesday. And I see that Club Q was attacked with a domestic terrorist asshole.
Yes.
Yeah. So I start my digging.
Another day in America, just another shooting. The
602 in 2022.
Yeah. Can we all just agree? It's a lot. It seems like a high number.
Mm-hmm.
Can we all just agree to that?
Right.
Okay.
No.
That's a
lot.
It's a lot of shootings.
We start digging a little bit and we start looking and, we've not really talked about a lot of things that are going to occur in this timeline over here because I try not to bring in the bullshit.
Right.
We did talk about one of them, fake Pastor Lockett.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the pastor in Tennessee or the pastor in Texas in June and July that called for, the execution of the LGBT and still to this day have their doors open. But let's back this up a little bit. We got to roll this tumbleweed back a few fucking decades. Joe, take it away for a moment.
Okay, so as in starting with Grandpa's history?
Let's start with Grandpa's history.
All right, so like you got to follow the timeline. It's a hell of a thing. So back in 2001, some of you may remember, there was a school shooting at Santana High School in Santee, California. At that time, the mayor of Santee, California was, I'm never going to remember his first name, Vopel. Anyway, Assemblyman Vopel, grandfather to Anderson Aldrich. Or, did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
I'm getting totally confused at this point. The names, there's just so many to keep up with in this story.
Yeah.
So he is, on television during the services. The nice political stunt that they did back in the early 2000s. Every time there was a school shooting, our community will become stronger from this. Is what Mayor Vopel had to say at the time. Effectively, shortened version of his little speech.
Oh, and you forgot thoughts and pairs. Or thousand pairs.
Yeah. Thighs and wings. So, of course, he then spends his political career fighting for pro-amendment laws and against gun control. And, anti-LGBTQ legislation and against pro-LGBTQ legislation. And we trickle our way up to November 2022, where he, due to redistricting, ends up in a runoff race, or well, not in a runoff race, but in a race against a fellow incumbent, and he loses. So he is 2 weeks away from being former Assemblyman Vopel, because that's what he went on to become. And, he has had an intervening 21 years, almost the age of his grandson, in which this is what he's done for California, for Santee, for the Santana High School community, for the California community, for the San Diego County community, is basically create the perfect situation for his grandson to go do exactly what he did. That's what he's done.
Yeah.
That's what his career's been for 21 years now.
Yeah, totally. 21 years. He set this up. He even took care of the child when the mother was in jail for drugs and the father was too busy shooting porn.
Well, and doing math. Yeah. And getting hit in the face.
Yeah.
And kicked in the nuts. That's another weird part of this story, but that's a whole thing. Apparently he did ads for L-arginine supplements and a law firm.
Okay. Whatever he does to make a buck, whatever he does to make a fucking buck.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this boy. Last year, Colorado Springs, whole neighborhood evacuated.
Mm-hmm.
Miles in circumference. Police race in. They arrest the offender. He's put in jail. Suddenly, the mother that called in the bomb threat doesn't want to press charges.
Mm-hmm.
So the charges are dropped. The red flag laws that were put into Arizona that his grandpappy didn't like.
Well, Colorado.
Colorado.
California. Let's get the right states. Like, it's just...
Yeah. They circumvented it. They circumvented the laws because he was never convicted.
I don't even think it was that she didn't want to press charges. I think this had to have been either professional courtesy.
Mm-hmm.
Look, your grandkid kind of effed up. You know, he's only 21, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like, can we just sweep this under the rug and not screw up this kid's life?
Right.
Would probably be prevailing theory on it, or, you know, like whether grandpa actually asked for that, we don't know. Everything's sealed. No one wants to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
No one can talk about it.
Because it's sealed.
Because it's sealed. So yeah,
it's a motion to unseal it to see who got money in the back pocket.
Yeah, I think there's going to have to be an unseal on that one, and whatever it is whatever it is.
Exactly.
But I think it's going to be a learning lesson, a teachable moment of, like, you were trying to save this kid's life. What about the people who died?
Yeah.
Because that's what this turned into a year later. He created a situation in which a SWAT team had to be involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You had an opportunity to intervene for this kid and try to figure out what the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he may have had a horrible time getting a job. Yes, he may have had a horrible time going on to do other things in his life. Yes, he may have had a lot of serious consequences and repercussions from that situation. But people would still be alive.
Right. People would still be alive. Communities would still be intact. Club walls would still be where they're at. We wouldn't have 28 people with multiple gunshot wounds up to 10. Yes, I said up to 10 gunshot wounds in a human body.
Yeah.
We would not have an ally that doesn't know how to do what he just did, deal with it, while trying to mourn the loss of his future son-in-law.
Yeah. And, like, his best friends.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, again, layers in this story.
There are layers. Okay, so we have to go into June, July of this year. June, July of this year. What was big in the news? Oh, I don't know. Let's look at this stuff. Pastor under fire for saying gay people should be executed. Texas, Idaho, Texas, Tennessee, DFW.
Our lovely Pastor Locke.
You know, Pastor Locke, Texas pastor, repetitive, evangelical, Baptist, Southern Baptist, calling for the deaths. We have idiots showing up for story time at the library with ball bags wrapped in barbed wire. We have idiots, you know, showing up to children being read to, not to sit there and do it the damn selves, but to protest outside when libraries can't even get people to come in and read to children.
Well, and here's a good pause moment, because we have two new words for your lexicon. One is groomers, which is what the drag queens who graciously volunteer for story time have ended up being called. And basically any other LGBTQ person who wants to get into helping out with children in any way.
Right.
They're groomers. That's what this is. We're starting to use language of sexual assault and incestual rape to describe people volunteering to provide community services, just general, like, hi, read to children,
right,
entertain kids,
right. So I have a question for all those idiots out there that believe that. When you hire a clown for your child's birthday party, are you hiring a groomer for them to be a serial killer?
Well, I mean, there's lots of things you can sit there and say. There is that there's can you not separate the concept of someone who is performing a role from someone that, like, I don't even know where to go there, like, because I still struggle with it. It's like, where do you think this is grooming? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get how drag queens are groomers. I don't get that. I just don't get that. Like, I can't even.
Can't.
I mean, there's some broken ideas there. Okay, so our second new word is woke scold. Okay, that's a lovely word being used in reference to the fact that people are sitting here going, this is going to lead to violence. The shit that you are doing is going to end up to people getting killed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, conservative side wants to call us woke scold because they just love throwing stuff and woke together.
Right.
Because that's just apparently the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is, the world is just too woke. So we need to warn about the dangers of woke scolds now. What the hell? But then, hi.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you sit here and say that people are going to show up and listen to you when you say that, the LGBT community needs to be rounded up, shot, etc. And that this is going to lead to acts of violence against the LGBTQ community. Then you turn around and have the same people who do this, who support this, who are friends with this, say that, oh, we're just too woke and we're just too whatever, and we're warning about things that are never going to happen.
Bullshit.
And then they happen.
Yeah. And continue.
And then they happen.
And continue to happen.
Oh, hi, Shannon. Thank you. That is beautiful. As in, couldn't dovetail better. I was put into more situations of grooming by Christian fundamentalists than any LGBTQ plus person.
All right.
Hi.
But no. Then we're going through this timeline. We're seeing increased violence, increased bomb threats, increased everything else going on. Then we have a relaxed community. And I do mean a relaxed community. Wake your asses up. We got too comfy. When I first went to the bar.
I'm sorry, this shit was supposed to be over.
No.
Like, we're supposed to be worried about underage kids getting into, like, places they shouldn't be, and underage kids, drinking and, doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
We're, like, the last time we were supposed to really be worried about getting, killed, harassed, arrested, whatever, that was kind of a little post Stonewall, when it was like, like, and then it slowly started to come down. Like, that was the peak of that, and then slowly, like, by the end of the 90s, we were supposed to be like, okay, you can go to a bar, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, what's supposed to happen? Like, what's going to happen?
Okay. Back in my bar days, when I first started going to the bar.
Yeah.
You pulled up to the parking lot, you were met by an armed security guard. You got any weapons? How y'all boys, girls doing tonight? Blah, blah, blah. Let me see your IDs. Everyone in the car 21? Great. Then you pulled into the fenced-in, barbed-wired parking lot. Then you had to be buzzed in at the door.
Yeah. And I mean, I get that. And I think we did try to move away from the theory that, like, this was the level of threat, scrutiny, persecute, like, whatever.
Right.
Choose your words. Doesn't matter. I think we all tried to move away from that and be like, that's not the world we're in. And I think Devin very much, has the right point, but that's not the world we live in, Joe. I wish it was. No, I'm there with that. I get that. I know, but I didn't think we were there. I didn't think we had backed up that hard.
Oh yeah.
Well, not we. We're trying to move forward.
And the MAGA hat idiots, which by the way, Grandpa's a big MAGA supporter.
Oh yeah.
So we won't talk redistricting. Why don't we talk stupid? Because it's already been shown that the white wave, please. The white wave wasn't even a spotting day for most women.
Oh no, the red wave.
Red wave wasn't even a spotting day for most women.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not the big turnout title change that they expected. It was more like,
Yeah.
Gained a few, lost a few.
Yeah.
Basically sat here and wiggled the line. But yeah, I mean, yay, he's no longer in office.
Yeah.
But the damage is already done. It's been done over 20 plus years.
Right.
Like, I mean, how can you go from a point in your career in which you're having to comfort families during a memorial to dodging reporters because your grandchild just shot up a gay club and not take a moment, I would hope he's spending this time reflecting that maybe, just maybe, he might have been part of the problem. Like, do you understand? You might have been part of the problem. Like, if you ever see this, Assemblyman Vopel, former Assemblyman Vopel, I assume by the time you would ever see this, you created this.
Yeah.
You created this on so many levels. You created this.
Right.
Like, I have 100% believability that your politics and the time you spent with your grandchild led to this.
Yeah.
I 100% believe that your action on or inaction on legislation led to this. You learned nothing while in office. You sat there and were at the early stages of school shootings. Like when
said on January 6th that it was the constitutional right, that it was 1776. No, it wasn't 1776, you moron.
Yeah, that this is, and that's the theory that it was not
but
a
this may be
rebellion on January 6th. It was a revolution.
This may be Stonewall. I hope the fucking community is woke the hell back up.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think this is the point where we were at with school shootings 20 some years ago.
Yeah.
When it's like the concept was so foreign, you couldn't wrap your head around it. It's like, what kind of sick nut does this shit? Like, this can't happen to me. And then it happens, and it happens, and it happens, and it keeps happening, and it keeps happening. And somewhere along the way, you realize that, like, okay, if I go to a nightclub, I'm going to die. So you don't go to a nightclub.
You keep your shit together, you know where your people are, and you know where the doors are.
Well, but still, you end up in this situation where you begin to accept this could happen to you.
Right.
And then somewhere along the way, it becomes, that's Tuesday.
Yeah.
We had 3 nightclub shootings last night. All right. Well, that's pretty good for a Wednesday. Only 3. Woo.
Well, I'm hoping we don't get to that point. I'm hoping that America's learned its fucking lesson on this. And no, we have not seen 1946 yet. Yes, it was released. We aren't able to get tickets. We will get tickets to watch it as soon as we're able to see it. And yes, I think everyone in America who apparently cannot understand the history of that book of theirs, needs to go and read it.
Yeah.
And watch it. And watch the talks of it out there on YouTube of the members of 1946 already presenting the information. Have a Bible study on it on Wednesday nights.
Well, there's a theory. But okay, so that's only one person in this situation.
Right.
That's the grandpa.
Well, let's take a break and we'll come back and we'll talk about Aeson's next reply on TikTok.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Dottie the Psychic, and I'm sure you're wondering why I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, one reason is to irritate my social media manager, Aeson Knight. Hi, Aeson. The other reason is because I like to get to the naked truth about what it means to be a neurodivergent LGBT person with psychic abilities. I've got vlogs, blogs, and podcasts and videos all related to trying to live my best life and helping witches and bitches do the same thing. So, you can check all that out and get a reading from Dottie the Psychic at DOTTIE.com. Safe travel and much profit to you.
Do you have a cute pet? We know you do. Each week, Tracy Van chooses from submitted photos a featured reader for her Facebook page and provides a tarot reading. Your adorable pet cat, dog, rabbit, goat, chicken, snake, or more could be her next featured reader. Visit tracyvan.com, TracyVann.com, and click Featured Reader to submit. We look forward to seeing your pet next.
Hey everybody, Lady Gwendolyn here, and I am here to tell you how to get in contact with me and a little bit about what I do. I am the High Priestess that works with shadow work to help you grow and heal. And I work with access bars, Reiki, I do power forms. I'm recently getting into crystal healing, sound therapy as well. So you can go to Lady Gwendolyn Healing, that is LadyGwendolynHealing.com. Book your appointment with me. I do in person, I do over the phone, I do over Zoom. We can do that as well. My main goal is to help you grow and heal, because I've been there, I'm still going through it, and let my strength help guide you. See you soon.
Hey everybody, Natalie here from The Pendulum's Path. If you are in need of guidance, direction, spiritual connection, healing, or more, you have come to the right place. I have worked as a psychic and a medium for over 3 years, connecting people from all over the world with their loved ones, giving them insight and guidance into their current situations, their past healings, their blockages, and what they need to know in order for them to have a better future. It would be my absolute honor if you would come to my website at www.thependulumspath.com. Visit my shop. I have a whole bunch of crystals, oils, balms, mystery boxes, and more. And visit my services. I offer 15-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute sessions. I also have email readings available if you're not comfortable with the one-on-one session with me, or if you just want to try me out. I encourage you to come visit me at the Pendulum's Path, and let's get you back on the right track today.
All right. So, after we've gone down a rabbit hole that created this mess, we go back to the original rabbit hole. And the guy one of the commenters, and I normally pick at least one comment to reply to on the videos just because I like having conversation on my TikTok. I'd feel safe in both situations. Most people are nonviolent. And I listed out all the places
Most people are nonviolent. I think we've well established that over the course of human history, or we'd all be dead.
Right.
That doesn't mean that, like, I'm sorry, one person walked in, and what's the numbers on Q alone?
28.
28 injured.
28 injured, 5 dead.
Yeah.
5 casualties.
That's a 1 to 28 ratio. That's a 1 to 5 ratio.
Mm-hmm. And the national average currently is 1 to 4. 1 in 4 will either be injured, abused, or discriminated against in the LGBT population. 1 in 4.
And that's after they have survived
Right.
high school. If they survive high school.
Yeah.
If they're supported, it drops down to the national teen suicide rate, which is roughly 0.01, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
If they are unsupported, it is a 1 in 2.
Mm-hmm.
1 in 2 will commit suicide.
Yeah.
That's the difference of support.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole magical number formulation. Our national teen suicide rate is about 0.1% or 0.01%, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Our unsupported LGBTQ teen suicide rate, unsupported, as in no evidence whatsoever that anyone, has shown any sign in their life that they care, love, and support them, just, and accept them for who they are. That rate is 1 in 2 will commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's insane.
Right.
Oh, I am Alexandria. What am I? Joe somebody 25901, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my TikTok.
Yeah.
I started that one kind of like it was really meant to just be me going on to TikTok to watch shit, and then, to be honest, it was all of a sudden he started giving it out, and I was like, oh, well, I guess that's officially my name on here.
But anyway, so one of them is, how are looks nonviolent? Paranoid much? And of course, I done a screenshot of, all the, pastors calling for my execution on a weekly basis.
Well, it's not that looks are violent. Let's clarify that. Looks aren't in and of themselves violent. They are, however, often a precursor.
Mm-hmm.
They are a precursor that gives you a warning you are in a potentially dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Blabbermouth Me made a comment about the side looks in Walmart.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, that was unfortunately
psychic at the time.
Yeah, because then we turn around in Walmart, and do we even have enough information on that one to quantify like what his motive was?
He apparently wrote an 11-page letter about how he was disrespected and betrayed by his employees and team members.
Okie dokie. Oh, the manifesto has returned.
Yes.
Oh,
and Alexa, of course, he's following me because he supports my small business.
Yeah, looks, Brenda, thank you. Looks can convey violent thoughts.
Exactly. Looks can also convey where a weapon is.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, hi. Looks are one of the first signs that you have from someone.
Mm-hmm.
That you are either part of their social, acceptability, or you are not.
Right.
You would think enough dirty looks at guys walking around with guns strapped to them would maybe convince a few of them to, like, I don't know, decide that I don't need to be armed in Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need
or
to be
Subway.
armed. Yeah, it's Subway. I don't need to be armed to go grocery shopping.
Well, I'll debate that, and I'm going to redebate that. And it's not that you don't need to be armed. Because, again, I still believe in the Second Amendment. I think you have the right to carry a weapon. I do not think you have the right to carry a weapon of war. Two different categories.
Yeah, that's two different categories. I'm still, though, like, I get very uncomfortable if I'm trying to, like, do my grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm walking past dudes with guns strapped to their hips. Like, and I see it.
Yeah.
Like, it's clearly visible. You want people to see that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys went to that Walmart? No. We did not go to the Walmart in Virginia where this happened. We have our Walmart here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and many Walmarts we've been to.
Yeah.
Have all been petri dishes of violence. Like, just wait. Just wait.
Just wait.
like I'm sorry, the fact that you have people walking around your store, like I'm sorry, I'll nope right the hell out of that. I will get I can get uncomfortable enough. But I'm like, nope, I don't need bread that bad.
Right.
I don't need the items in my cart bad enough to deal with stupid on aisle 11.
Right. Packing an AR-15 across his back like a moron.
Or like a gun strapped to his hip or tucked in his waistband. Because how many? Can we just point out that, like, nature is kind of amazing. The number of people who end up carrying guns inappropriately, because I guess I'm supposed to have appreciation for the ones that are strapped properly in a holster,
right?
Compared to those who put it in their front pocket or their back, waistband or whatever. Do you know how many people end up shooting themselves with their own gun? And the frequency with which they do that and shoot themselves in the testicles.
Or the ass.
Well, more importantly, the testicles.
Well,
I think
we'll get to that because I came up today and I had to laugh my ass off.
Oh, okay.
All right. Literally, hours, I made that video that morning, going back and forth with this troll. And thank you for Minister Jade. I did shut my mouth because you took care of it great in my comments. Thank you for, overseeing the comments on that one. When did looks become violent? I don't know. Looks tell me exactly where your eyes are going to go and where your hand wants to go. I can tell. Point fucking blank. That's the way that is. Anyhow. Yeah. What happens? Chesapeake, Virginia. Manager goes into a break room for a team meeting and blows up and shoots, I believe, how many did he kill?
6, and then turn the gun on himself for, at least that's how it looks, is a self-inflicted gunshot injury.
Yeah.
Well, he killed himself.
Right.
Basically being the final conclusion on that one. Yeah. Well, and then Brenda points out it is Black Friday, Joe. Being armed could be needed. No, it isn't. It's called Stay the Fuck Home.
Yeah, it's called Cyber Monday. You'll get better deals.
I don't care who you are. I'm sorry, disappoint your children all you have to. You don't need a television that bad. You do not need a computer that bad. You do not need a cell phone that bad. You do not need anything from Walmart or any other store.
Right.
On Black Friday, bad enough to justify Black Friday's craziness. Like, no, I'm sorry, stay home. Like, no. It starts with us. It starts with you. It starts with all of us deciding the deals aren't worth it.
Right.
Cyber Monday the hell up. I'm cool with Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday is amazing. You go on Amazon, buy wherever the fuck you want. I'm fine with that. Stay the hell out of your local stores on Black Friday. Who the hell keeps thinking this is a good idea? It's not.
Right.
Thank you, Devin. I stay at home, cleaned and did laundry. I never go anywhere on Black Friday. I don't either.
Right.
Like, I have friends who dearly love Black Friday. They and their mother/mother-in-law get up on Black Friday at ungodly hours. And this is in North Carolina, not small city North Carolina. We're talking like Raleigh, North Carolina. And we'll go to Black Friday and do the stores and the shopping and the deals and the whole thing. And they love it. I've gone once, said never the fuck again.
No.
Like,
so if you guys remember me giving you heel advice, I said make sure they put the titanium spikes in the heels. And I'm sure everyone rolled their eyes and said, oh, Lord, here's Aeson being a little over-dramatized.
No, it has benefits in both directions. Like, those shoes were not built for the weight of a man.
That's what these shoes were written for.
Oh. Whoops. I didn't do it.
Well, let me bring it back up.
I didn't do it. It is all you.
Uh-huh.
No, I mean, seriously, I didn't. I've.
There you go.
Yes, that is Anderson Aldrich.
Yes, who apparently wasn't even conscious enough for his arraignment. Luckily, they're holding this monster, and let's call him what he is, a fucking monster, bred and built to be one.
I'm not going to other him.
Bond.
Like, I'm not going to other him. Because that leads to us believing this can't happen to us because there aren't monsters in our community. We don't think there's monsters in our community. This is a dude who lived in a community.
Mm-hmm.
And arguably, a lot of bullshit went on in his life. And I think we need to know that and hear that and process that and be aware of that and accept that these are our neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
This is what your neighbor can do to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is who your neighbor can become.
Right.
This is why, because otherwise we sit here with this othering concept and we think it can't happen to us.
Right.
Because surely to God, we don't live in, like the guy next door who waves.
Right.
And okay, sure, he waves the Trump flag and, walks around with his AK-47. But he waves every time I come out. My partner and I come out like, hi, how's it going?
Mm-hmm.
Is not going to go off and do this shit.
Right.
No. They can.
Yeah.
We sit here and we try to take these situations and make the person doing this into a monster. And like some mystical, magical creature that just pops up spontaneously in random places, as the embodiment of pure evil. They're human beings who are fucked up.
Mm-hmm. And
they have shit going on.
Right.
They have a lot of people failing miserably.
And writing checks to cover their ass.
Writing checks to cover their ass. Doing everything they can to try to hold their life together and not recognizing that, you can't just keep, sweeping it under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to, at some point, meaningfully address the problems you're seeing.
Right.
The bomb threat incident was your last possibility. That was your exit ramp for this kid.
Right.
Is to go, this kid's fucked up. Fix it.
Right. Well, what got me even more and what aggravated me even more is the heroin and alcoholic mother posting on Facebook, my son's missing. He took my debit card and cell phone and left hours ago. Would anyone happen to see him? Hours before this occurred.
Yeah.
He said we were going to have the best night of our lives. Really? That's your idea of your son's best night of his life?
Well, that may very well have been what he said before he left.
Right.
That this was his
want to
definition.
make call outs here.
Yeah.
The straight ally fathery teddy bear that kicked his ass and served in Afghanistan.
Doesn't everyone just want to hug that dude right now?
Oh
my God, he is so many levels, as one should be, of fucked up right now from this whole situation.
Right.
There's the trauma level.
Mm-hmm.
Bless his heart.
Right.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wasn't kidding. He was there with basically his entire world.
Yeah.
His daughter, his son-in-law or future son-in-law, his best friends, his wife,
right?
All of there in a group, and this shit happens,
right?
And he's military trained to be doing this stuff in war-torn countries,
right?
Not, I'm going to take my wife and, kids and friends, and we're all going to go out to the club and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, I have to remember my tactical training to take down an enemy combatant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because this is what the training is.
Right, and he is an enemy combatant. that's now playing legal games, so we'll get to that.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. But no, because that's the level he came in at. You know, tactical vest and gear.
Mm-hmm.
But no one plans for this. No one should expect this. This was not on anyone's radar.
Yeah.
In terms of when you're thinking, I'm going to go to the club tonight, what's the worst possible things that could happen? Well, someone's going to get drunk, probably too drunk. Someone might spill a drink on me. Someone might throw a fist. Someone might do something stupid. Like, you think about worst case scenarios at a bar. People get drunk and do stupid shit.
Okay, I guess I'm wired upside down and backwards.
Okay. I'm talking about, like, if you're prepped for your worst case scenario at a bar.
Uh-huh. Someone's going to get roofied. We're going to have to call the cops. I'm going to have to kick somebody's ass or two. I'm going to lose a shirt, so I'm not wearing a good shirt. And I don't know. We might get into a fist fight either in the bar or or out in the parking lot. One of the three will occur. I will end up kicking some redneck's ass halfway to Texas.
Similar lines. Like, drunk people do stupid shit. It gets crazy. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Not this, like, some guy walks in with an AK-47 and just starts shooting people.
Right.
Like, no one, yeah. I've already been warned. He goes to a bar. He does not come home wearing what he went out in. And I'm like, whatever, that's fine. The worst things I've dealt with in my life. I mean, really, truly is. But no, it's like, I tell this story, and I have to be very careful when I tell this story, but there was an incident in college with an event, and literally someone got drunk before they went because they were underage, got drunk, went to the bar, got to the bar, proceeded to walk in the door and throw up and pass out because of alcohol poisoning. And I threw a bitch then. Like, where were y'all?
Uh-huh.
Because they didn't leave and go to this bar, so to speak, alone. Like, they were with a group of people when they were getting ready to go to the bar. This is part of the planned activities for this event. Like, you know, they were there. Y'all watched this person do this.
Mm-hmm.
You saw what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Where were y'all?
Right.
Why did they get into a cab alone? Mm-hmm. Why did they go to the bar alone? Mm-hmm. Why did this occur without anyone intervening at any point?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the hell do you think, you know, this group sponsors, you know, your attendance here?
Uh-huh.
You know, like, hi, we paid for your hotel room.
Uh-huh.
We paid for you to be part of this event.
Uh-huh.
Why do you think we do that? Do you all not get? And this was like 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, do y'all not get that you are responsible for each other when you go as part of this group?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you not get this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I become the total bitch of the organization at that point. I didn't care. I was already, you know, sort of like Assemblyman Vopel. I'm on my exit tour, you know.
All right.
Bye, former VP. You know, I'm doing my queenly wave as I'm exiting, you know, college and everything else. What the hell, guys? Like, get it together. Y'all, how do you not know this? How did you miss this? How could we have done this better?
Right.
Tell me what we did wrong that you thought that, like, you just got to go to this cool thing and, like, be there, and, like, you were all totally independent little, you know, beings, and you didn't have to, like, be part of the group.
Right.
Like, no. Like, hi. Did you... Because, again, 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Shepard ring a fucking bell?
Yeah.
Y'all gotta watch out for each other.
Yeah. And
you are in a city where you are a minority. You are going to a club.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why don't you try to make sure everyone gets home safely? I don't care if someone goes home with someone else. I don't care if someone's getting laid tonight. I don't care about that. As long as everyone gets home safe and you have plans in case they don't.
Mm-hmm.
That you know how to find them, that you know how to contact them, you know who to contact.
Right.
Like, hello, I have to come in on the 11th hour and be like, get it together, dumbasses.
Right.
This is how
that's
this
the message
works.
I'm sending out to our community. Get it together.
Yeah, really.
Okay. So first we've got the savior daddy bear. I'm going to call him an allied daddy bear. We have what has been reported through the grapevine, but apparently no news organization will cover it. Twink. And we have a transgendered female that kicked this damn dude's ass. Yes. That's the response they need every time they come at us. You won't be awake for your court arraignment.
True. I will point out there was a very good comment from one of the guys. And I forget his name right now. He got shot 7 times in the back.
Yes.
He did an interview, and I like the part where he pointed out clubs have got to get better security, not just a security dude standing at the door checking IDs and a couple of bouncers, but like actual security, a security team that are armed.
We used to have that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, we've got to go back to that.
Yeah.
But if this doesn't make it clear, I mean, Pulse should have made it clear. And again, I think we get, you know, like, I feel like history is just repeating itself.
Over and over again.
Well, in terms of, I grew up in an age where school shootings were such an anomaly that we thought, well, surely to God, this isn't going to be a big part of the future. You know, like, no one knew how to react. What were you supposed to think back in 98, 99, 2000, 2001? Like, it was just such this weirdo phenomenon that started happening seemingly out of thin air.
No, I don't want off-duty cops. What I want hungry drag queens. I want drag queen husbands. Because I'm sorry. I want the Southern drag queen husbands, you know, the ones that'll walk in, pick up a guy or girl and throw them in there and say, get the fuck away from my wife. That's what you need in your security detail. Your leather daddies, you keep trying to push out a pride, you need to show up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights to keep your club in order like we used to.
Well,
that's what needs to happen.
But still, like, no, again, this is the new normal. Unfortunately, this is where we are. This is what we have to deal with, and we have to start treating it as it is dangerous to go out.
Yeah.
Like, the safe space concept is great. You actually have to live up to the first part of that.
Yeah.
Safe.
Yeah.
Safe anymore isn't just looking out for someone to not go home with the wrong dude, or just looking out to make sure that someone's drink doesn't get spiked, or just making sure that everyone got home safely. It's literally being concerned that from the moment you get there till the moment you leave, you could die. And then taking precautions around that. And I'm sorry, we're going to have to apply some pressure to those business owners.
Well, no, that, but we're going to have to apply some pressure to these damn politicians that keep repeatedly passing laws that restrict us, like the one in Texas. Hello, Texas. You know, since you put idiot back in office, do you think you can make his IQ a little bit higher? Because pretty soon he's not going to be able to sign his name to his stupid bills. That's how low his IQ is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, Governor Abbott?
That's, yeah, but Governor Rabbit.
Yeah.
You know, then we got Santo Losto that apparently looks great in go-go boots. Because that's what he's written toward in his pair of white go-go boots.
Well, you know. But no, I mean, I hate to say it. This is where we're at. This is the actual reality of where we're at. 2022.
Mhm.
Who the fuck thought in 2022 this would be where the conversation is?
Oh,
Is that we need 1980s level protections of LGBT spaces.
yes. Everywhere.
That we are, and what's interesting is one of the so-called woke scolds. And again, so many articles, so many names today. But what one person who was interviewed pointed out that, you know, in this whole situation, this has been a warning
Mhm.
because it's currently following the exact trajectory
Mhm.
that anti-abortionists
Mhm.
are applying or
Yeah.
have applied.
Right.
That it started as a political debate, it
Mhm.
turned into protesting,
Mhm.
and then it turned violent.
Right.
And this is where we're at.
Yes.
Like, it's following the same lines
Mhm.
that, you know, we saw again back in the late 60s
Early 70s.
and early 70s with the first wave
Mhm.
of LGBTQ rights.
Mhm.
And it's worse.
Mhm.
It's worse.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, in 1969, you worried that maybe you would get arrested and your name published in the paper and you'd be humiliated and fired and evicted.
Mhm.
And, you know, arrested, beaten
Mhm.
by cops.
Mhm.
You know, like that's where you were then. Like you were worried about fire hoses and batons and paddy wagons and things like that.
Mhm.
Not someone walking in, civilian off the street,
Mhm.
who inexplicably
Mhm.
has access to a weapon whose only main purpose seems to be men who can't aim at a toilet who need to shoot something,
Right.
and war.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's only two purposes.
All right. Well, darling, I need to point you back to the upstairs lounge in New Orleans.
Okay.
1973.
That was the lounge fire, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. That more so started. I think you can ultimately determine that kind of started as the building was unsafe to begin with.
No, that started from arson.
Well, but then the arson basically took full advantage of that. I don't think the arson was targeted towards the building because it was so horrible.
No, they just used it as a weapon.
Well, it became part of the tragedy.
Right.
As in, you know, it was a 1-2 combo event. Had the arson occurred at a different club,
mm-hmm.
a different lounge, different club, a different whatever, it may not have been anywhere near the tragedy that one was.
Right.
But because that bar was literally a death trap.
Right.
I mean, it was a death trap. It like emergency doors were blocked, emergency exits were blocked. There were
what
no.
You get when you get into locking down security so tight to protect your patrons, you get into issues.
Can be.
Right.
If you're trying to short staff it and funnel everyone through one doorway.
Right.
Like that's not good physical perimeter security. I mean, it works.
Right.
But you can only do that in limited size groups.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're talking about a 5-person office, you can do that.
Right.
Everyone can safely exit.
Right. But they blamed it on it. They had covered the story up and did not look at the arson. They didn't track down the people that committed the arson. They didn't punish the people that committed the arson.
True.
Watch how how quick this gets covered.
I don't think this one is. I don't think this one can.
Right.
Now, I know there is a lot of muddying being done by the public defenders.
Oh, yeah.
And because that's all that footnote is muddying the waters for the add-on hate crime charge.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing that I have seen so far. And I'm not saying nothing exists. I'm just saying there's nothing that I've seen so far that points in any way that this guy was actually part of the community, so you can't claim a hate crime because, oh, they're non-binary or, oh, they're gay. But that's exactly where the story's going in conservative news circles.
Oh, yeah.
Is that it's immediately
because, see, he's non-binary. No, it's a legal damn move. Every one of his profiles say he, him, not they, them. Okay? Everyone, Facebook, everywhere else. He even post, I don't know many of the non-binary community that'll post the burning of the pride flag on their Instagram.
I mean, that's a special concept. I'm not saying no one has done it. I'm just saying, because I mean, there are many in the non-binary, and trans community that feel well underrepresented by the LGBTQ community, and there are lots and lots of problems there. Like I'm not going to be dishonest about it. It is not one big happy community sharing one big giant umbrella happily. No,
but we need to get back
to it. It's a fucking mess.
We need to bulk you up. We need to bulk you up. We need to pull the leather community back in there because they know how to handle a body and move it.
Yeah.
And disable it and disarm it. We need to pull back in, and I'm going to use an old term, diesel dykes. I'm sorry, the one that used to stand at the front door of the Driftwood would scare the Pope himself when she asked for your ID.
Fair enough.
All right? We need to get back to being a community fighting for our rights because they're stripping them away piece by piece by piece by piece. And they're starting with our children.
Yeah.
They're starting with our trans youth. And we need to target these people. And when I say target, I mean target. Point fucking blank. And our allies, we love you. And if we pissed you off tonight, too bad. But this is the shit that's been brewing for 22 fucking years out of Colorado Springs.
Yeah. So then we turn around, and I do have to say, the fact that our school systems have become more akin to a game of modern warfare.
Right.
Because, I'm sorry, we're sitting here spending our time teaching these kids tactical maneuvers that shouldn't be employed anywhere but third world countries in the middle of a god-awful war.
Right.
I mean, no one should have to know how to survive.
Well,
we should not be teaching 5-year-olds.
Right.
Ducking
cover. Have to carry a bulletproof book pack to school or to the club.
Right. Like, kids shouldn't be discovering that what they thought was a, padded element of their book bag is actually a sheet of Kevlar to protect them from bullets.
Yeah.
It's not a notebook pad.
Right.
It's fucking Kevlar.
Yeah.
That your parents are hoping you never figure out. Or maybe they didn't know when they bought it and it's an added bonus feature.
Hey, at least we got past the clear backpacks we had to for the original school shootings.
Oh, man. See, we didn't even get there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, my high school never got there with clear bags. Now, we were, at high school point, we weren't allowed to have backpacks in class, ever.
No, we went totally clear backpacks, metal detectors. It was my elementary school. We had to have clear backpacks, metal detectors. There were metal detectors. There were staff members to meet you at the door. There were staff members at every exit of the school.
No.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that we did have doors that were chained shut.
Yeah.
And that's where I first got into this whole, you got to be careful of that perimeter security.
Right.
There was a hallway in that building that, but for one other door, which you would have had to have known about and thought about, had the presence of mind to realize you could have gotten trapped.
Right.
if you didn't stop and think, oh, if I go into the band room,
Right.
I can go out the exit on the other side of the room.
Mm-hmm.
But if a fire started in the hallway and you didn't know about that door,
Mm-hmm.
or for whatever reason the band room were locked,
Mm-hmm.
there's nowhere, like, you had nowhere to escape. Most of the doors down that hallway would have been locked.
Right.
There was nowhere for you to go,
Right.
and the door was chained shut.
Right.
It
Now,
was
I don't
so
like
weird the
Florida.
first time I went back in that building and it was unlocked. Anywho, sorry.
Anyhow, I don't like Florida. I don't like the governmental system.
Yeah.
I'd like to go visit, but I'm not living there. But this morning, of course, on TikTok, if you like a video or comment a video of law enforcement, and I do have to say Colorado Springs police chief done very well. So there's a dude, 30-year-old man accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at Lake Ladd home, leads deputies on a police chase. One of the deputies broke his hand pulling a maneuver called a punt, to punt the car or to stop the car. They go on. They finally get it bunted and it's stopped and disabled, and he gets out and he runs and he pulls a gun, and these deputies altered his manhood for the rest of his life.
Okay.
Twice in the knee, twice in the arm, and once in the belly and once in the groin. Surprisingly, it was a white dude.
Hey.
Luckily, I don't believe there's that much damage to the home. But, Polk County, you ain't playing. You need to go train some of these other deputies, especially in Florida.
Well, of course, then again, Florida has also come under fire in the past that their officers can be overly aggressive. I don't know that was an overly aggressive response to the given situation.
No, I don't think it was.
So we'll give them credit for that. I don't think that was an overly aggressive response to the
What I found impressive is they did not take his life. They shot him in non-life-threatening points.
Yes.
So I'm going to give them a good aha. Chief of Police of Colorado Springs, you did a very good news conference. So, guys, we're going to take a break, and we're going to go to the lighter side of this show. We'll take the content warning down, and we're going to find out if Joe's an asshole this week, and we'll look for some poly advice while we're on break. Okay, guys?
Awesome.
Welcome back, Goblins! My name is Jason, and I am the host of the Esoteric Book Club, a podcast that examines titles on the magical, paranormal, the mysterious, and the strange. I release 2 episodes a month in which I review books on esoteric topics, recap news of the weird, and conduct interviews with authors, practitioners, and experiencers. The Esoteric Book Club can be found on every major podcast service or can be streamed directly from esotericbookclub.org.
Hi, I'm Tracy Van. I provide a blended reading consisting of mediumship, psychic, and tarot cards. A reading from me can cover any guidance you need from relationships with your partner or your family, spiritual, financial, any questions you may need clarity on. If you would like to book an appointment with me, check out my website, tracyvann.com. That's TracyVann.com. I have bookings from 15 to 60 minutes you may choose from. That helps if you just have a quick question, need an answer, or if you're looking for a reading in more depth, I'm here to provide the guidance and clarity for you. Let's just figure it out. Bye.
Hi, Techie Joe here. I work with Aeson Knight and some of the best psychics in West Virginia to create amazing live streams and podcasts for the Psychic Coffee Shop Network. Together, we brew up great content discussing news, events, hot topics, and more, all from a psychic perspective. On the Psychic Coffee Shop, we interview amazing authors in the metaphysical realm. Coffee and Tea combines Aeson with Tracy, Dottie, Natalie, or Lady Gwendolyn for the good and the bad of being a psychic. Shameless Self-Promotion with Dottie the Psychic talks to leading and emerging YouTubers and business owners in our community. Mountain Bears brings you the latest in LGBT news and politics. The Psychic That Plans answers the question of, well, how a psychic plans. Plus, we're live on air. We take your comments and your questions, including psychic advice questions. Check out our amazing programming, book an appointment with top psychics, and find out all the wonderful things we have to offer at pcsbnetwork.com today.
Hi, I'm Aeson Knight. I provide tarot readings covering everything from love and relationships to your life questions and your most spiritual answers. And also, I provide a lot of guidance in finances and divorces and all those relationship problems. So, if you'd like to get a reading from me privately, not on air, you can feel free to do so by visiting aesonnight.com and booking your appointment. I also provide on-demand services, so if your life is a little chaotic, you can go ahead and click that call now button there on my site. Great for a quick answer question. All right, guys, back to the show. Enjoy.
All right.
Welcome back. So, are you an asshole?
Am I the asshole for not actively hiding a pizza and not warning my nephew and niece about the pizza when they had some? This title makes the story seem made up. It's not. I just don't know how to word the title any better. So I've been looking after my nephew and niece, my sister's 2 children, nephew 10 years old, niece 9-year-old. Their school had to close unexpectedly for 2 days due to maintenance problems, and they spent both of those days under my supervision while she was at work. My sister and the kid's dad split up, and he now lives and works in a different country. My sister is vegan and quite a militant one and all, always badgering my mom and I about eating non-vegan food in our own homes even when she isn't there. Returning toys I've bought my nephew and niece for birthdays and Christmas, etc. She will give her children the choice on whether or not to become fully vegan when they're a little bit older. Note, her children are not 100% vegan yet. She is all right with non-vegan food being given to them when they go around to friends' houses and birthday parties. Day 1, my sister had packed a vegan lunch for the kids to eat whilst at mine, which the children absolutely detested. They both didn't eat all of the food, and my sister blamed me over it. I think they'd seen some chocolate that I have and got a bit upset. I know that the children have been picked on at school over the vegan foods their mom packs for them, and they want to try things other children have. Day 2, sister was in a rush and couldn't make her kids anything. Lunchtime comes around and I'm emptying my freezer before I do a big food shop, so I put 2 pizzas on, a barbecue chicken pizza and a cheese pizza. The plan was to give them the cheese pizza if I give my sister non-vegan food, but vegetarian suitable food, she doesn't get as upset. And I would pick at the barbecue chicken pizza. The barbecue chicken pizza was quite big, and not offer it to the kids. But if the kids did have a few slices of the barbecue chicken pizza, then I would not stop them. They will be given the choice. Both of the kids did end up taking a couple slices of the barbecue chicken pizza. Sister asked what the kids had eaten. The kids had seemed quite chipper when she came to collect them. They told her what they had eaten and asked to see me inside the house. She blows her lid at me that the kids should have known about the dangers of the meat on the barbecue chicken pizza first, and that they should have had controlled permission before having a slice, whatever that means. I mentioned that the kids aren't 100% vegan and have similar foods to the barbecue chicken pizza when they go to friends' birthday parties. She storms off saying that I was rude about leaving the pizza open and indirectly calls me a danger on the family group chat, as if I was letting her kids stick forks in plug sockets rather than letting them eat a bit of pizza. She's the youngest, so a few family members take her side by default. They're not vegan either, and are giving me crap for it. What do you think?
Not the
Am I
asshole.
the asshole? Not the asshole. I found this one interesting though, because it is just so over the top. But sadly, I've known people like this.
Mm-hmm. Well,
like,
I find this with people that are very too far.
I mean,
personal beliefs on others.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't get veganism or that I don't, it's not one of those things I roll my eyes at. I think I probably did years ago when I first heard about it, and I was like, okay, whatever. I get it. I do. I'm sorry. I'll be a filthy meat eater all my life. I just can't not.
It's not healthy not to.
I enjoy what I eat. But at the same time, I do understand being respectful of people and their dietary choices.
Right.
But here's the thing, is that's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
You knew you were sending your children over to be with someone who is non-vegan. You knew that they are nowhere near committed
mm-hmm.
to veganism.
Right.
Let alone committed enough
mm-hmm.
to properly model all of the things you were doing with your children to make them fear meat. Because I don't know what else you call it when you call meat a danger.
Right.
Come on. You've gone.
Well, not only that, but here's the thing, and this is what gets me. She didn't have time to prepare lunch for the children.
And the lunch she prepared the day before, they didn't want to eat.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm sorry, your kids are pretty much telling you, Mom, we're not vegan.
We're not interested.
At least not right now.
However, let's say Joe's supposed to go on site tomorrow. Joe, what will you normally find in the fridge unless you tell me not to pack it, waiting for you when you get up?
Probably a lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do it the night before. Like any other good parent. Take 5 minutes. Throw dinner together. Here you go, honey.
Oh, see, I'm a morning of person.
No.
Well, because I depending upon what you make and how you put it together and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Sandwiches don't do well overnight. They just don't. Toasted bread just doesn't do a whole lot of good things overnight.
Honey, how many times do you they're vegan, so they're not going to get sandwiches. They're going to get hummus and vegetables.
Okay, fine. Yeah, in that case, you can pre-prep your dead plants. With should be pretty easy to go. I'd figure you do some pre-steps and food prep and just kind of have everything ready, save the time. Yeah, free babysitter, not a food they were allergic to. They provided a vegetarian choice.
Yes.
It's not totally vegan. They had options, but it looks like more so what Mom wanted was a miniature version of themselves to stand there, lecture the kids in an extremist vegan viewpoint.
Right.
And effectively coerce them into being vegan. She's not giving these kids a choice.
Right.
These kids are going to be legitimately afraid.
No, these kids are going to rebel and they're going to be carnivorian only.
Oh, yeah. 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 Well, and especially because you're creating situations in which they're already getting bullied for their food choices. You are creating an eating disorder. It is waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're associating food with very negative situations for these kids at an age in which they're not capable of understanding the nuanced arguments that you as a militant vegan are making.
Right.
Like they don't
Furthermore,
get 9 and 10?
yeah.
9
Okay,
and
9 and 10. At 4 years old, you are able to make decisions on the food you want to eat. At least in my house.
Respect those. Move on.
Exactly.
Like, it'll be okay.
Yes.
I'm not saying supply the kids with whiskey and candy cigarettes, but for fuck's sake. A Lunchable is not going to kill them or destroy the entire world of its animal population and do great, terrific harm.
Exactly.
There are a couple of kids trying to eat lunch.
So on to the mouse's choice of polyamorous device.
All right. So how do you cope with being second? Oh, this is going to be hierarchical polyamory gone amok.
They still want to proclaim it.
All right. Hey, guys. Apologize in advance for the lack of articulation regarding my question. I'm relatively new to this world, but I am in a relationship with a married couple.
Hello, unicorn.
I have my primary in the relationship, the one I go to for questions, issues, etc. Obviously, I make them my number one priority, but sometimes I struggle with the thought of not being their number one priority as well. How do people cope with that? Also, how do people deal with missing out on the experience of being the nesting partner and having the commitment and security? Thanks in advance for any advice or comments. Go for it.
Not your relationship. When Joe was alone in Princeton, Joe done what he wanted to.
I ate over the sink without a plate. It was great.
Left dirty dishes in the sink. Piled up laundry throughout the house.
Hey, I was taking my first break in like 7 years from the.
I get that. I get that. Believe me, my Friday nights were always fun. And you always say, "Oh my God, you always come in such bad bed." And it's like, no, honey, I'm coming in doing my numerous shit.
Yeah, but I was still like, I really didn't it was one of those things. Like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
I will do laundry just at the point, my grandmother died. I was exhausted.
Right, and I get that. I'm not making
wasn't my
excuses,
A1 priority.
Your experience about technically being the second.
Oh yeah, whatever. Fuck it. At this point, I would go for being 132nd. I would if we're gonna put it in hierarchical perspectives, second shit, 132nd, I'd be happy with. Just put me all the way down the list as far as I can get. I'll be fine. And I don't understand this whole theory that, I don't know. Is it just the movie relationship thing from people who haven't been in one?
No, it's the book relationship thing.
I mean, but I also think of it as the movie relationship thing. I mean, it's you're never anyone's sole priority, or if you are, I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't going to go well.
No.
Because that is a level of fucked up that is not going to work. That is not conducive to living a happy life. Sometimes you just can't be first.
Right.
Sometimes it's all about pay the goddamn electric.
Right.
Sometimes it's all about your mother fell. Sometimes it's all about I wrecked the car. I need to be the priority today. Thank you very much. Not you.
Right.
I can't be concerned about you and your pedicure.
Right.
If hi, I'm flipped over on the interstate being rushed to the emergency room.
Right.
These are things you move around on the list. You just try not to be totally deprioritized to the point of non-existence.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And this missing out on things, I don't know. Being the hinge, I get an interesting point of view. There are conversations I will have with him. There are conversations I will have with the invisible assistant. There are conversations I'll have with neither of them.
Yeah. And there's conversations all around that.
Yeah, and there's conversations you have with the invisible assistant I never know about.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there are. Like, and these are all fine things.
Yes, these are normal human reactions.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I have nesting partners and I have non-nesting partners.
Yeah.
My non-nesting partners don't really care a damn about where I put my couch at.
Nope. Hell, your nesting partners don't give a damn where you put the fucking couch at.
As long as they don't do that.
To be honest,
Exactly.
To be real fucking honest, we don't care.
Yeah.
Like, as you know, like if you put it in the oven, we're gonna be a little upset. But otherwise, as long as it's in a couch appropriate place, like, or if it's in a couch inappropriate place, it has a really good reason to be there. Like, we're not gonna really give a shit. Like, if you decide to throw it out in the yard because it's going out in the next, Saturday pickup, okay, but what's the couch replacement plan? Might be our question. Otherwise, I don't care.
I was thinking hammocks.
I don't care. No, we're not doing hammocks. Do not make us call out our massage therapist on air for the fact he has given you the idea of hammocks.
I think it sounds lovely.
Like, I think the world of our massage therapist, but we ain't getting hammocks.
Okay.
I will dislocate my hips. He will make a fucking fortune putting me back together that we don't have.
How about massage pillows?
What?
There's these huge pillows. They're about 4 foot wide, about they're about 2 foot thick. They have them in Buddhist temples for long-term meditation. We could fit 8 of them in the living room and have a nice circle.
Aren't most Buddhists about like 5'4"?
No.
Like, do you know what I'm going to look like? I'm going to look like the kindergarten teacher trying to sit on the kindergartner chair. We are not getting, traditional furniture. I am a traditionalist when it comes to furniture.
Okay,
I want a chair, not
finding a fainting couch.
Do what now?
We'll see about finding a fainting couch for your office.
No, I don't want a fainting couch in my office. Like, if anything, we'll move in the current living room couch when you replace it. But that's my sole extent on that one. Yeah, no, Brenda, I'm not getting fainting couch. Just no. One, they're really hard on my back. Like, they always look comfortable. I don't know what it is. A fainting couch looks massively. Oh, huge massage pillows. Oh, that's where Brenda was. Sorry, we're a little ahead of you, comment-wise, apparently. But no, we're not. No. Now, I will say I do have an appreciation for the ass pillow. And that was the only thing I ever called them. And friends chuckled at me all through college. But by God, you can't have a game night on those when you're in your 20s. I'm not pulling it at 40, but no, just the big giant, like every grandma had them on their fucking couch in the 80s. It's the big giant pillow. It's like 3 foot by 3 foot and like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches thick.
We're talking about the 2000s model of this.
Yeah, no. I'm too old for this shit. I will break something.
Okay.
I will need traction. And then you can have the fucking hammock from the ceiling because then I'll need traction. I just won't, like, we'll just have to put it up really high so I can suspend myself in it and try to fix my spine. But you'll have a hammock on the ceiling.
All right, let's go see if you're the asshole this week. I got to get you to make me a little thing.
Okay, a thing.
Yes, they have ruled that the uncle is not the asshole.
Or the aunt. I don't know. It didn't really clarify.
We'll say uncle.
Fine, uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the asshole.
Not
the asshole. I can't even begin to call them the asshole. Your sister sounds like a fucking trip.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to call out on air. My siblings have had put up with some shit from me over the years. I have never, ever been this bitch.
Well,
I just
true.
want to call that out on it.
Nor have you dated this bitch.
No, let's not go that far.
I'll go that far. You haven't dated a vegan.
Oh, no. Dated someone who wanted to date me, but was fat phobic at the same time. That was interesting. That lasted all of one date. But family didn't have to involve that one. Yeah, no one I've dated. Well, of course, then again, I don't usually bring people home. Like, that was the thing for me. I just didn't bring people home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are not going through this. Like, I don't know if other people have this, but I get really, I don't even know there's a good word for it. Frustrated, annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Trying to get to know someone that, like, someone's dating.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just, like, it's fucking Baskin Robbins with this person. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, how many people can you date in a year? Like, I have names stuck in my head that
85.
go to the wrong faces. It's confusing. And it's like, what the hell? I'm not bothering. Like, let them make it past 3 dates at least before you bring them around. Like, if you just started dating yesterday, do not bring them to Christmas.
Yes. Can we bring this up and like solve some calls and some issues real fast?
Oh,
if you've been dating for less than 6 weeks, you don't go to Christmas.
6 months. I'm putting a moratorium of 6 months. If you have not been dating for 6 months,
yes,
you do not get to bring them around for the holidays.
No.
Not the first year. Year 2, hello, come into my home. So nice to meet you again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, you're still here. Now we can share baby photos and horrible stories about their childhood.
Right. Well, and then
yeah.
let's go into something a little, because we overshadowed and we didn't get to enjoy the holiday. We're dealing with bullshit. Mega crapping mullah. But anyway, Hollies, get on the same page with this. Since we have a new flag that's very nice, it's the one I actually voted on.
Oh, I did not know. I want to see. Which one did we get?
We got the one with the heart in it. It's really nice.
I don't know. There've been so many. Come on, share the flag. Yeah, 6 months, then holidays. I just don't know how else to explain that to people. Like, you do not, and I think that, like, you slowly introduce, but not major holidays. Like, no. If this starts sounding like, a cocktail waitress in a Dolly Parton wig showing up to prom, no.
Mm-hmm.
God, no. Like, if you're not going to make it 15 minutes, fuck this. I don't need to know this person.
Right.
Like, I just, Oh, yeah, not in family photos if you haven't dated long. Now, I will say I do get a little cranky about people not being family photos if they're, like, all the way to the point of married.
Right.
Like, accept it and move on or get the fuck out of my life.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, but that's where I'm at. Family reunions, I can be a little more wishy-washy about because, like, sometimes you want the generational photo.
Right.
Like, I can accept that one as long as that's all it is. But if you're, like, involving some spouses but not other spouses, then it's kind of,
And we'll define spouses as sharing homes.
Yeah.
Shall we? Since we've had this problem before.
Yeah, well, Aww.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I do too.
I'm down for that.
Yes.
That is very cute.
Yes. So
that
that's
is a
the new
cute
flag.
It does not hurt.
Right.
Well, I think at this point it's probably appropriate. Can you pull the old flags up? Because there's been a few.
There's been a few. Do we want to go for my favorite?
Pardon?
This is the one that was my generation's poly flag.
Oh. Ow. Oh, yeah. See, that one, like the old one, or the new one, excuse me, is one like people will actually display because it's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's adorable.
Of course, we've
It
had
is.
this one.
Ew. See, no. Celtic
No.
Knot, Heart, Infinity, no.
Yeah.
Because it's what it is. 8-bit, we had 8-bit. Jesus Christ.
Yep. And that's the new one.
Yeah, that's the
We like the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's the one I voted for, and I'm glad it's been replaced. It needed to be. Hooray.
Yes. All right.
So, new flag, new poly day. But let's just situate this. Okay, here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
With families and holidays and polyfamilies. One, you don't bring home your third and your fourth if they haven't met your second.
No. Yeah, okay, can we just all agree that introductory day is not the holiday?
No.
Like, I understand people live long distance and blah, 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 blah. Do not surprise people with a new other.
Right.
Like, do not.
Right.
On a holiday, do that.
Right.
Holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings.
No.
Do not surprise introduce.
Right. And furthermore, just for the record, so everyone is quite clear, everyone is responsible for their own family.
Yeah.
Telling their family, all that. If your third or your fourth isn't ready to introduce your second and your first and your 15th to their mother, that's their choice.
Yeah. And
or
you do
their
have to
sister
respect
or whatever.
Yeah. You do have to respect that and leave that alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, for some people, like, you just have to let it happen as it happens.
Right.
I think it's a lot like coming out of the original closet is you cannot you cannot throw people out of the closet.
Right. Well,
Like,
the other part of that, however, is my other thought about those is it's not my responsibility.
I love it, Brenda. I love it. TikTok suggested putting brand new dates on the edge of photos so they can easily be cropped out.
Yes.
Yes. Like if you drop a new significant other on me, we will arrange it so that we can cut you out later.
It's just easier if you have them hold the camera. But anyhow.
I mean, granted, I have Photoshop. I can spend some time and make it work, but let's not.
Right. But, here's an example. One of my favorite sister-in-laws. Like, we hit right on each other. She makes a faux pas. It's not my job to go fix it.
True.
It's that partner's job to go fix it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. Or, somebody, I got a new Thanksgiving tradition I kind of like. Talking to one of my mother-in-laws for about 2 hours in the mornings. It's a sweet Thanksgiving, apparently.
Yeah, because apparently this is 3 years now. Y'all have done this.
Exactly.
It's now a tradition.
Yep.
I think that was Devin's line last time, wasn't it? 3 makes a tradition.
3 makes a tradition.
Was it Devin? Devin, was that you?
Devin. Yeah, it was Devin. If not, we'll give credit to Devin.
Devin, take the credit one way or another. Like, you take that.
Yeah.
We're just assigning credit now.
Right.
Like,
but anyhow.
Message. That was me. I said it. It wasn't her.
Well, again, it's now a tradition.
Devin says maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. It's now considered a tradition. Thanksgiving morning, me and one of my mother-in-laws has a 2-hour conversation on the phone if she ain't coming down. We'll probably do the same thing on Christmas while her son sleeps. That's okay.
Pretty much. That's how that works.
Yeah. You know what happens next? He gets up, crumbs through the kitchen. Call your mother. You call your mother.
Mm-hmm. Well, considering you get that enough from me, call your mother. Like, I try.
Mm-hmm.
Carolyn, if you're watching, I fucking try. Okay.
I call her. She doesn't answer. She's busy. I had to call the director of the senior center to get her to answer my call.
Yeah, you had to call. Yeah, he had to call to confirm that she was alive. Oh, that was kind of sad. Oh, so we do have a question from Devin. 31678. Any end in sight to the 60-hour work weeks?
Let me take a look.
Please
Devin.
tell me that's not salary.
Nope.
Ooh.
More money around March.
Well,
I'd take the more money, Devin, and rock the savings.
Oh, fair. Eek. I know that's not awesome now.
It will be.
Yeah. I mean, upside 60 hours a week is doable.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. Don't get me wrong. 60 hours a week sucks.
Yep. So I have a question.
Yeah, hell, oh well, money. Pardon?
I have a question for the Patreons, and they can either comment here or comment over there.
Oh, good. Hourly. Yay.
If this varmint's trial is live streamed, do you want me to stream commentary with it?
Oh. That could be interesting. So you're going to come up, do the trial feed plus your commentary?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Lord.
Patreons, let me know in Patreon land.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's that. We do want to thank you guys for hanging in. No, this is not the normal show. We normally try to make the bears a little bit fuzzy and cuddly on Fridays. This week wasn't one of them.
No, no.
And also, Patrons, if you like my new TikTok content, let me know. I've been trying to figure out what to do with it here lately, and it looks like apparently running my mouth is a good one.
Yeah. Well, that actually got you attention on, or, and good attention.
Yeah.
On Twitter for a while.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I normally tell off the representatives of West Virginia, the mind bosses we keep voting in the office.
Oh, Brenda is your first vote for interesting to watch on Anderson Aldrich's trial.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, it's going to probably be a hot minute because December 6th doesn't even look like it's going to be a real court date.
No, because one of the attorneys is in court already, so it's doubtful it'll be then. It would be a long stream day, so we'll definitely have to run commercials during their commercials. But no, I wouldn't mind streaming and doing an E.B. Baker style commentary to it.
Hey, cool.
Yep. All right. With that, I want to thank our Patreons. They are important to us. They keep us running. They keep us going. And we keep them happy because they make us happy. Because we can bring voices out. All right, guys. We'll be looking for new things in December. Now, we will be back with Psychic That Plans. And this weekend, Psychic That Plans, we're setting up my December planner.
All right. So does Vanna get to take it away, or do you have the clip to go up?
Oh, you take it away.
All right. So we do want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Charles Shaw, Dottie the Psychic, Tracy Van, Donna White, Caitlin Bell, and Laughing Tree Grove. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit us at pcspnetwork.com.
Yep. And you guys have a magical weekend. We'll be back Sunday at 8 p.m. Oh, no, we're back tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, it's tomorrow. Energy
Energy
at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys are going to get a whole weekend of content from me.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. You have a magical evening. Bye.
Bye.